Namo Adida Phat. Thanks so much for joining me for our daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This wonderful sound calls us back to our true home. The second mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by exploitation, social injustice, stealing, and oppression, I vow to cultivate loving kindness and learn ways to work for the well-being of people, animals, plants, and minerals. I will practice generosity by sharing my time, energy, and material resources with those who are in real need. I'm determined not to steal and not to possess anything that should belong to others. I will respect the property of others, but I will prevent others from profiting from human suffering or the suffering of other species on earth. For Dharma lessons, we've been reading Everything We Do Matters by the Venerable Wuling, and today we're finishing up her talk on vengeance. Digavu's father's last words to him were that vengeance was not settled through vengeance, but through non-vengeance. Seeking revenge never ends hatred, but instead causes it to grow. Digavu explained that if he had sought revenge by killing the king's supporters would in turn seek revenge by killing him. Then his own supporters would retaliate by killing those of the king, and on and on and on this cycle of killing would continue. If, however, the prince and the king spared each other's lives, the hatred would end then and there. And so when that happened, then and there, the hatred died out. Hatred is a fire that, if left unchecked, will consume all those it touches. Adding fuel to a fire only increases it. Not supplying the fuel will cause the fire to burn itself out. If we keep fueling the fire of anger and hatred with thoughts of self-justification and self-benefit, of bitterness and resentment, we will never let go of our anger. Eventually, it will consume and destroy us all, for those who are surrounded by fire will inevitably be burned. Digavu's father had enabled his love and concern for his son to overcome any anger or hatred he might have felt for King Brahmadatta or his soldiers. Digavu, too, was able to let go of his hatred for a conqueror who had ordered the murder and dismemberment of Digavu's parents while he looked on helplessly. We, on the other hand, have great difficulty letting go of anger caused by those who keep us from doing what we wish to do, who inconvenience us, or who simply annoy us. We hold on to the slights of others and dream of showing them how clever we are at retaliating. Don't, my dear Digavu, be far-sighted. Don't be nearsighted. For vengeance is not settled through vengeance. Vengeance is settled through non-vengeance. Do not wish for revenge. Be trustworthy. And do not readily break a friendship. End hatred and find peace by letting go of pain and bitterness. These few words spoken by Digavu's father, despite their simplicity and gentleness, succeeded in touching a heart that had been overcome with sorrow and consumed with hatred, causing it to let go of the desire for vengeance, and thereby awakening the compassion and wisdom extant in that self-same heart. This very wisdom and compassion was precisely what Digavu awakened to. As the Buddha said, we should train ourselves so that our minds remain unaffected by pleasant or adverse conditions, and our speech is always benevolent. Our minds should be without hatred as we pervade the universe with goodwill that is abundant, unreserved, and endless. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be at peace. Namo Ayuda Phat. Thanks so much for joining me today.